Alright!
Hi guys, my name is Emily, and as you can tell by the title of this video, I will be teaching you the 5 basic dance moves that you need to know if you're interested in learning K-pop choreographies. So the 5 moves that I will be teaching you today are chest popping, hip isolation, body roll, shoulder popping, and step ball change. If you know these dance moves, it will be so much easier for you to learn actual K-pop choreographies because these moves are in pretty much all of them. If you look at a choreography, you'll find probably at least one of these moves. And if you know these moves, it will be easier for you to learn that dance because you already know the moves. Alright, so let's get into the video. Alright, so the first move I'll teach you is chest popping. So this move is really important for you to know if you are interested in learning girl group dances because it shows up a lot in those choreographies. But if you are also interested in learning boy group dances and not so much girl group dances, you should still learn this move because it does come up sometimes and it will be helpful later in the video, as you will see. Okay, so in order to do a chest pop, you must first know how to isolate your chest. Isolating your chest means that when your chest moves, the rest of your body doesn't. Okay, so to isolate your chest, let's put your hands on your hips and start by moving your chest out and in, and out and in. So your shoulders kind of move forward, but when your chest goes in, it's like you're pushing it back and out and back and out. And then go side to side. But don't move your hips like that because that's not isolating your chest. You go side, side, back, side, back, side, back, side. And then eventually it'll be smooth like this. So practice that for a few minutes. The outside, back, side, out. And try to get to where it's like this smooth. If you know how to isolate your chest, you can learn how to do a chest pop. So chest pop looks like this. It's just when your chest moves and it looks like it's like popping out, kind of. Yeah. So when you do a chest pop, it's isolating your chest. That's why we did the whole chest isolation thing. Okay, to do a chest pop, basically, it's like you're taking a big breath, your shoulders go back and your chest goes forward, and then you sort of flex your ab muscles, I guess. So, move your chest forward and flex your abs, sort of like you're taking a big breath. So if you take a breath, observe how your chest moves, and then that's basically a chest pop. You just have to do that without actually taking the breath. And then while you do that, your ab muscles kind of flex and your shoulders go back. So it pops out like that. Yeah, so now you know how to do a chest pop. Let's move on to the next move. Okay, so this next move is hip movements or hip isolation. In order to do these hip movements, you must know how to isolate your hips. It's pretty much the opposite of isolating your chest, so when your hips move, your chest doesn't. Instead of when your chest moves, your hips don't move. This move is pretty common in girl group dances because they do a lot of hip movements and butt movements and like twerking and stuff like that, they use their hips a lot. But also it is used in boy group dances when they do like hip thrusting and stuff. So it's pretty useful no matter what kind of dances you want to learn. And also if you put it together with chest popping, you will be able to do a body roll or a body wave. Okay, so in order to isolate your hips, let's start with our hands on our hips like we did when we isolated our chest. Okay, so let's bend our knees to where your knees are about above your toe. And then we'll start by doing the things that we did when we isolated our chest. We'll move side, side, back, front. Or side, back, side, front. And it'll be like a little sort of hip roll, I guess. And then once you know how to do that, you know how to isolate your hips, and then you can like twerk and hip thrust and do all that fun stuff that's in Kpop choreographies. So now you know how to isolate your hips and isolate your chest, so then we can move on to the body roll. Alright, so now we can get to the body roll. This move is super popular in the K-pop community because it's used in like almost every dance, pretty much. And it's used in boy groups and girl group choreographies, so this is a must-learn dance move. Alright, so now that you know how to isolate your chest and your hips, this move should be pretty easy. So what you need to do is kind of stand with your legs shoulder width apart and start with your head going back. So back, and then your chest goes out, and then in, and then your hips are out, and then your hips go back in. Then you can go back up, starting with your hips go out, and you're leaning back still, and your chest goes out and relax. Let's do it from the side. Head, chest, hips, hips, chest, head. It's almost like a line is going over you and you have to like, you know? Yeah, so it's pretty easy. You just combine the two moves that we've already learned. Alright, that's it for the body roll. Let's move on to shoulder popping. Okay, this next move is called shoulder popping. I researched a lot and I couldn't really find an official name for it, so I just came up with shoulder popping. So that's what we're gonna call it for now. So this move, I've seen it more in boy group choreographies than girl group choreographies, but you should still learn it regardless because it will help you gain more control over your shoulders and arms and gain more strength, so it's like easier for you to move them around and like isolate them. So yeah, so let's start by relaxing our shoulders. So roll them forward and backward and like one at a time. Basically, we're just trying to avoid like moving your whole chest with your shoulders because that's not really what we want to do. If you're trying to go like this, you don't want to move your chest because that's a lot more work than just moving your shoulders. So that's a shoulder pop. If you know how to isolate your shoulders and relax them, then doing this should be fairly easy for you. Alright, let's move on to the last dance move that I'm going to be teaching you. Alright guys, so this is the last dance move that I will be teaching you, and it is called step ball change. This dance move is the only footwork that I will be teaching you because Kpop choreographies, they have really complicated footwork, and most of the time it's unique to that specific dance. So it's not if you learn one It's not like if you learn one foot sequence, you'll be able to learn the other ones. So I just noticed that in a lot of the choreographies and their footwork, they use step ball change. So if you know step ball change, it will help you then eventually learn the more complicated, unique footwork for the choreography that you want to learn. And this is used for all of the choreographies, I guess, girl group and boy group. Okay. To do step ball change, on step, you step with your foot. On ball, you step with your other foot. And on change, you change where the first foot is. Let's see it again. Step, ball, change. Step, ball, change. So yeah, it's basically like that. Alright guys, that's all of the 5 moves that I'll be teaching you today. Now hopefully you feel ready to get out there and learn those dances that you always wanted to learn but you never knew where to start. If you are interested in learning any of the example choreographies that I used in this video, I will link to some tutorials in the description box below. Hopefully you had a good time. I had a good time. Thank you for watching and good luck with your dancing.
너 제 마음 높아해 네가 있어야 모든 게 완벽해